Something is about to change at Heartland. Just when Amy thinks life is settling into a calm rhythm, Nathan brings someone unexpected to the ranch. And not just anyone, it's Tristian, Nathan's ex. The kind of meeting that can turn a quiet afternoon into a storm of emotions. The sun rises over Heartland, painting the sky in soft shades of gold and pink. Horses graze quietly in the open fields, and the familiar rhythm of the ranch carries a sense of peace. Amy moves through her morning with calm focus, brushing a horse, checking the fences and breathing in the fresh country air. It feels like just another ordinary day. But, as with life at Heartland, change often arrives without warning. Amy doesn't yet know that Nathan is on his way back and he isn't coming alone. He drives up slowly, his truck kicking up a trail of dust along the dirt road. From a distance, it looks like any normal visit, the kind of thing Amy has seen countless times. But today is different. Sitting in the passenger seat is a woman with a confident air, her eyes scanning the ranch with a look that is half curious, half nostalgic. That woman is Tristian, Nathan's ex. For Amy, Heartland is more than just a home. It is her safe place, her ground for healing, and the space where she works hard to help horses and people alike. Having strangers arrive always shakes things up, but this visit feels different from the very start. The ranch seems to hold its breath as Nathan parks and steps out, his expression unreadable. Amy wipes her hands, gives a small wave, and notices right away that Nathan seems a little tense. The introductions are polite, almost too polite. Amy offers a warm smile to Tristian, but beneath the surface, she senses something unusual. Nathan doesn't explain much at first. He simply says that Tristian wanted to see the ranch and that she might have some interest in the horses. The words are simple, but his tone carries weight, as if there's more to the story than he's letting on. Tristian, on the other hand, carries herself with striking confidence. She steps onto the ranch like she belongs there, her voice smooth and her smile practiced. She makes a comment about the beauty of Heartland, about how peaceful it feels, but her eyes keep drifting toward Nathan in a way Amy cannot ignore. In that moment, the mood shifts. It is no longer just a casual introduction. It is the beginning of a test for Amy, for Nathan, and perhaps even for Heartland itself. The scene closes with a lingering silence. Amy looks between Nathan and Tristian, unsure of what exactly this visit means. The horses stir in the background, almost sensing the tension in the air. And though the day started with golden light and soft breezes, the atmosphere now feels heavy, charged with questions that don't yet have answers. The air at Heartland feels heavy, almost as if the land itself knows something unusual is about to happen. Horses shift restlessly in their pens, their ears twitching at the sound of Nathan's truck rolling to a stop. Dust rises from the wheels, curling in the breeze, and Amy's eyes narrow as she sees the passenger door swing open. Out steps Tristian. She's tall, graceful, and carries herself like someone who doesn't need permission to belong. Her boots crunch softly against the gravel, and her gaze sweeps across the ranch as if she is searching for memories that were never hers to begin with. She adjusts her jacket, flashes a smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes, and for a brief moment, Amy feels as though she is standing on her own porch, yet facing a stranger who already knows too much. Nathan's voice cuts through the silence, just a little too forced. "Amy, this is Tristian." He doesn't add more. He doesn't explain. His tone is clipped, like he is carefully controlling every word, and Amy can feel the tension wrapped in those few syllables. She offers her hand politely, keeping her composure, because Heartland is her place of strength, and she won't let unease take that away from her. Tristian shakes her hand with a firm grip, leaning slightly forward. "So, this is Heartland. Nathan always said it was special. I can see why." Her words are light, but her eyes are sharp, scanning the barn, the pastures, and then Nathan himself. The connection between them is clear, even if unspoken. There is history here, and Amy feels it pressing into the present moment like an invisible weight. The horses behind them snort and paw the ground, restless as if reflecting Amy's inner unease. She strokes the nearest marae, grounding herself, but Tristian's presence is hard to ignore. Everything about her seems designed to remind Amy that she once held a place in Nathan's life, a place that still carries shadows into this. Meeting, Nathan tries to bridge the silence. He mentions that Tristian wanted to see how Amy works with the horses, that maybe she could learn something. The explanation feels thin, almost rehearsed, and Amy catches the flicker of hesitation in his voice. She nods, keeping her tone even, but her thoughts race. Why bring an ex here, of all places? Why now? Tristian doesn't wait for the answer. She steps closer to the paddock, running her hand lightly along the wooden fence, her movements smooth and practiced. "It's beautiful," she says again, this time softer, almost wistful. But her next words are directed at Nathan, not Amy, just like you described. The remark lingers, filling the space with something unspoken. Amy notices Nathan stiffen slightly, a muscle twitching in his jaw, but he doesn't respond. Instead, he glances at Amy as if silently asking her to understand, to be patient. But patience feels harder when the air is so thick with hidden meaning. What should have been a simple visit now feels like the opening act of a storm. The conversation remains polite on the surface, talk of the land, the horses, and the quiet life at Heartland. Yet underneath, every glance, every pause, every shift of tone carries weight. Amy senses that Tristian didn't just come here to see the ranch. She came here with questions, maybe even intentions. And Nathan is caught in the middle. As the three of them walk toward the barn, the tension follows like a shadow. Tristian's heels click against the ground in sharp rhythm, while Nathan keeps his steps measured, almost protective. Amy trails slightly behind, observing, listening, weighing every detail. She can feel the edges of something larger forming, something that could change the balance at Heartland. The barn door creaks as Nathan pushes it open. Light filters through the wooden beams, casting stripes across the hay-strewn floor. Tristian steps inside and inhales deeply, her smile softening for the first time. "It smells like home," she whispers. Amy tilts her head slightly, her curiosity sharpening. Home? This place was never her home. Why does she speak as though it should have been? The moment stretches, thick with unspoken truths. Nathan clears his throat, trying to break the silence, but Amy catches his unease. She has known him long enough to recognize when he is holding back. Whatever history lies between Nathan and Tristian, it isn't finished, and now it has walked right into Amy's world. By the time the afternoon sun begins to dip lower in the sky, the lines are already drawn. Politeness covers the surface, but beneath it, the air is charged, like the moments before a summer storm. And Amy knows this meeting is only the beginning. Inside the barn, the air feels different. Dust dances in the beams of sunlight, the smell of hay is thick, and the horses shift uneasily in their stalls as if picking up on the tension between the people standing nearby. Amy strokes a chestnut mare, her hand moving in slow circles across its neck, more to steady her own feelings than to calm the horse. She knows this place has always been her safe ground, a space for healing, for trust, for quiet strength. Yet with Tristian standing only a few feet away, even Heartland feels unsettled. Tristian leans against the wooden post, crossing her arms with an easy confidence that doesn't match the sharpness of her words. Nathan always had a way of talking about this place, she says, her eyes locked on him. I used to imagine it, picture the horses, picture what it would be like to be here with him. Her tone is light, but every syllable feels pointed. Amy catches the way Nathan looks down, avoiding her gaze, and it stirs something in her chest. It's not anger exactly, it's something more complicated. A mixture of doubt, of vulnerability, of questions she doesn't want to ask but can't stop from forming in her mind. Amy takes a slow breath and turns back to the mare. Heartland isn't something you imagine, she says softly. It's something you live. Every day. The work, the patience, the connection with the horses, it's not always easy, but it's real. Her words aren't meant to cut, but they do. Tristian straightens, her smile thinning, and for the first time a flicker of something less certain crosses her face. Still, she doesn't back down. Real, she repeats. That's one word for it. Her eyes flick to Nathan again. You always said this place was where you felt most alive. I can see why. But it also makes me wonder what would have happened if things were different. The silence that follows is heavy, broken only by the restless stamping of hooves. Nathan finally steps forward, placing himself between them without even realizing he's done it. His voice is quiet but firm. That was a long time ago, Tristian. Things change, but Tristian's smile returns, this time edged with challenge. Do they, or do we just pretend they do? The question lingers in the rafters like smoke. Amy doesn't answer. She doesn't need to. Her silence is its own kind of strength, but deep down she feels the pressure of doubt pushing harder. She wonders why Nathan hasn't said more, why he hasn't given her the reassurance she needs without asking for it. She leads the mare out of the stall, the sound of hooves on the floor echoing in the barn, giving her a moment to collect herself. The horses don't care about the past, she says, her voice steady again. They only care about what's right in front of them. They read your energy, your truth. If you bring them confusion, they'll give it back to you. It's a lesson she has lived by, one she tries to hold on to even now. But as she glances at Nathan and sees the weight in his eyes, she knows this isn't about horses. It's about history. It's about whether the past will stay buried or claw its way back into the present. Tristian steps closer to the stall doors, running her hand along the rough wood, her nails scraping faintly. I didn't come here to cause trouble, she says, though her tone betrays her words. I just wanted to see what made this place so important to him. What made you so important? The last phrase lands with a sting. Amy doesn't flinch, but inside something twists. She knows Tristian is testing her, probing for weakness, for cracks in the trust she and Nathan have built. Nathan finally breaks. His voice carries more force now, echoing against the barn walls. Tristian, enough. This isn't about the past, and it's not about you. It's about Amy, about what we're building here. If you can't respect that, then maybe this visit was a mistake. The words hang heavy in the air. Tristian tilts her head, studying him, her expression unreadable. For the first time, her confidence falters. Not much. Just a flicker, but enough for Amy to see it. Still, the damage is done. Amy feels the storm inside her, a whirlwind of pride, hurt, and resilience. She doesn't let it show, but she knows this meeting has stirred something that won't settle easily. Tristian's presence has forced questions into the open, questions about loyalty, about trust, about how much of the past Nathan still carries with him. As they step out of the barn into the fading light, the ranch seems quieter than before, almost watchful. The horizon glows with the deep orange of the setting sun, but the beauty of it does little to ease the tension. Amy walks a step ahead, her mind racing, while Nathan and Tristian follow behind. The distance between them says more than words ever could. This was never just about a visit. It was about old wounds, unspoken truths, and the fragile balance of love when the past refuses to stay silent. And Amy knows this is only the beginning. The last light of the day stretches long across the fields, painting the land in deep orange and fading purple. The ranch looks peaceful from the outside, but inside the air is heavy, filled with everything left unsaid. Amy walks toward the corral, her boots crunching softly against the dirt, each step measured, steady. Nathan follows at a careful distance, and behind him, Tristian lingers, her shadow stretching long in the dying sunlight. The silence between them is louder than words. Every glance carries meaning, every pause carries weight. Amy stops near the fence, her hand resting on the smooth wood, grounding herself. She doesn't look back, but she can feel Nathan's eyes on her, feel his unspoken plea for understanding. The problem is, she doesn't know what to understand yet. Tristian breaks the silence first. Her voice is soft, almost too soft, but laced with intention. I should be going, she says. But the way she says it, the way her lips curl into a faint smile, it doesn't sound like goodbye. It sounds like a promise that she will return. Nathan exhales, almost in relief, but Amy's chest tightens. She knows this isn't over. Tristian has planted something in the space between them, a doubt, a memory, a shadow of the past that can't easily be shaken. Amy doesn't show it, though. She stands tall, her gaze fixed on the horizon where the sun dips lower, the last of the light slipping away. Nathan offers to walk Tristian to her car, but Amy notices he hesitates first, as though torn between staying with her and keeping things civil with his ex. Tristian smirks, catching the hesitation. And that smirk alone says everything Amy doesn't want to hear. The walk back to the truck is slow. The gravel crunches under their boots, the sound echoing in the still evening. Amy follows a few paces behind, not because she needs to, but because something inside her refuses to let the moment close without seeing it through. She watches Nathan open the passenger door for Tristian. Watches as Tristian pauses before stepping in, turning her head to look at him with an expression that's part longing, part challenge. Amy's strong, Tristian says suddenly, her words sharp against the quiet. I can see why you're with her. But strength doesn't always mean the heart is safe. It's the kind of statement that doesn't demand an answer, but leaves a wound all the same. Nathan doesn't reply. He simply shuts the door and walks around to the driver's side, his shoulders tense, his movements clipped. The engine roars to life, and as the truck pulls away, the sound fades into the night, leaving behind an echo of questions. Amy stays by the fence long after the dust has settled, her eyes fixed on the road that disappears into the distance. The horses shift restlessly in the field, as if sharing her unease. The wind picks up, cool and steady, carrying with it the faint smell of hay and earth, grounding her back into the reality of Heartland. But her heart doesn't feel grounded. It feels unsettled, fragile in ways she hasn't felt for a long time. Nathan returns a few minutes later, his footsteps heavy as he crosses the yard toward her. He opens his mouth, searching for words, but none come. Instead, the silence stretches again, thick and uncomfortable. Amy finally turns to face him, her expression unreadable. There's no anger, no tears, just a steady gaze that asks the one question she doesn't speak aloud. Why did you bring her here? Nathan looks away, running a hand through his hair, his jaw tight. He wants to explain, she can see that. But explanations are promises, and promises are fragile things when tested by the past. The night settles fully now. Stars begin to prick the sky, one by one, as if the universe is listening in. Amy finally speaks, her voice steady but low. This ranch has always been about trust. Between people, between horses, between everything that keeps us moving forward. If that trust breaks, she doesn't finish the sentence. She doesn't have to. Nathan steps closer, his face heavy with regret, but before he can answer, a horse whinnies sharply in the distance, loud, urgent, almost as if warning them both. Amy's eyes snap toward the sound, her instincts sharp. Something about the moment feels symbolic. Like even the animals know the storm hasn't passed. The camera of this faceless story lingers on Amy's face. Then on Nathan's, the space between them wide, despite the closeness of their bodies. The night is quiet, but it's the kind of quiet that feels dangerous, like a pause before thunder splits the sky. And as the screen fades to black, the narrator's voice rises, carrying the final words. Some ghosts don't vanish with time. Some return to test the strength of love, to challenge the ground it stands on. And at Heartland, where trust is everything, one unexpected arrival could change everything. Was this just a visit? Or the beginning of something far more dangerous? Fade out. The ranch, the night, and the unanswered questions remain, waiting for what comes next.